So far, we've seen these two mathematical operations for integers. Now we will move on to multiplication of integers. It will be a good idea if we first understand the term multiplication well. Yes, it may seem very simple, but there are a few things that we need to understand about multiplication. This will help us solve the questions about multiplication of integers. Consider this question. We can solve this question step by step. As there are 3 people in consideration, we have to count the number of pens with them thrice. Note that the number of pens with each is the same, that's 7. What does this indicate? It means we have to add the set of 7 pens thrice. Now we can express this problem mathematically as follows. We have to repeat the addition of the number 7 3 times as can be seen above. The answer to this is 21. Let us look at this in another way. As we have to repeatedly add 7 3 times, we can multiply the number 7 by 3. This sign indicates the multiplication of these two numbers. Can you find the answer for this question? The answer is 21. Correct. Yes, 7 times 3 is 21. What can we understand from this? It clearly means that multiplication is repeated addition. From the above example, we can conclude the following. Here, of course, the addition was to be repeated thrice. You'd probably think that addition here was simpler than multiplication. Then why do we need to multiply? That's a valid question, but note that there could be cases where we need to repeat the addition several times. Will it not be a tedious task? In such cases, it is the multiplication which makes it simpler to solve. Another good way to understand multiplication is by looking at the number line. Let us solve the above problem using a number line. Consider this number line. Let's consider 0 as the base. The number of pens the first person has is 7. So we move 7 steps to the right. We started from 0 and moved to 7. Let's continue with the second set similarly. The second person too has 7 pens. So we move 7 more steps ahead to find the total number of pens with 2 people. That brings us to the number 14 on the number line. Finally, we move ahead to complete the third set of adding 7 pens. This is how we get the final answer as 21. Now observe the number line carefully. To multiply 7 by 3 on the number line, we used repeated addition. We moved by 7 steps at a time on the number line thrice. From 0 to 7, then 7 to 14, and finally from 14 to 21. I want you to keep one very important thing in mind. While solving multiplication problems using a number line, we always start from 0. So anyway, we can say that the product of 7 and 3 is 21. We know that 7 and 3 are both whole numbers. We now have a basic idea about multiplication of whole numbers. However, they are positive integers as well. And we also know that integers can be positive, negative, or 0. So if we have to understand multiplication of integers, then we may come across many questions like, how do we multiply any pair of integers? Can we multiply 2 negative integers? Can we multiply a pair of integers with different signs? And so on. Watch the next lesson to understand the concept better.